This is the refractor method to solving the Rubik's Cube. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you're probably thinking, what is refractor? Well, refractor is a massive project on being able to do magic with an ordinary Rubik's Cube. It allows you to do some really cool effects, and it's made by working magicians for working magicians. So you can take a mixed cube and just solve it. So if you're interested in that type of effect, just check out our website refractor.co.uk for some really cool magic. So one thing Kev and I always recommend to people who want to get into Rubik's Cube magic is learn to solve the Rubik's Cube, but also kind of look like an expert with a cube. So that's who these beginners tutorials are aimed at. So not only will you be solving the cube in around about a minute quite quickly, but you'll also be doing it looking like you really know what you're doing. All the elements on Refractor Beginners are there to give you a greater understanding of how to solve the cube, and at the same time hopefully make it more enjoyable. It's basically the tips that I wish I'd known from the off. Some of these tips took me years to learn, and when I finally learned them, I realised I've been doing a lot of things wrong and got into bad habits. So these tutorials are there to stop that from happening and, as I say, speed up the process of actually being able to solve the cube really quickly. In this introduction section, I'm going to start by teaching about the colours and show you something you maybe haven't considered about the cube. And then next I'm going to show you how to hold the cube properly. And this is all just really quick, but stuff I wish I'd known from the off, because that enabled me to then be able to turn the cube much quicker. And the sooner you know that, the faster you'll be able to solve it. So without further ado, let's get into the refractor method to solving the cube. So I'm just going to quickly talk about the different pieces that are on a cube. You've got the center pieces, which are the ones right in the middle of each side. You've got the edge pieces, which are the pieces on the middle of the outside, these here. And then you've got the corner pieces, which are at the corner of each side of the cube. So although the edge pieces and the corner pieces get moved around a lot depending on which way you're moving the cube, and they will get completely mixed, the center pieces will always remain the same relative to each other. So which means you can move them around like this, but if you've got blue in front, or your blue centerpiece and yellow centerpiece on top, you will always have red on your right, so red right, orange on my left, you'll always have green at the back, and the white centerpiece will be at the bottom. It doesn't matter where the other pieces are, those pieces will always remain the same relative to each other. Now we know that, I'll also teach you a quick way of learning the colors quicker. So I have blue in front, yellow on top. I always work from this position, and I can turn the cube around, but I'll always end up going back to blue in front, yellow on top. And in this case, I always have red on my right. So I'll teach you a quick way to learn the other colors super easy. The opposite colors to the centerpieces are always the color that is similar. So for instance, the most similar color to blue on a cube is green. So the centerpiece opposite that one is green. And the color most similar to yellow is white, so that's underneath. The most similar color to red is orange, so that's on my left, that's opposite. So as long as you know blue in front, yellow on top, red on right, it's really easy to work out the other colors from there. So I encourage you to learn the colors, because it will make solving the cube quicker and easier. One final quick thought on holding the cube. Get used to holding the cube in this position. This is like default position, where you've got your thumbs in the middle on these middle pieces here, and your first three fingers on the back pieces here, like that. And it just makes it really easy to move this piece, that piece, this top piece, and even the bottom piece with your right or left fingers. And then if I want to turn the front piece, on the right side, for instance, I put my thumb on the bottom, fingers on top, then I can just turn that round like that, or on the left hand side like that, thumb on the bottom, again like that. And if I want to turn the back piece, I put this and my thumb on the top here and turn the back piece round with my first finger, or my thumb on top here and turn the back piece round with my first finger on my left hand, like that. So get used to this default position, and it just minimizes the movement that you have to turn, rather than constantly turning the cube to move it, because you'll get used to the colors, and again, this will help you get faster, quicker.